You're about to meet a woman who says the airbag meant to protect her sent her to a hospital instead. Now the government is calling for a national recall of these potentially deadly devices, while some vehicles that have already been recalled are up for sale at your local used car dealership. Are the dealers disclosing that important information? Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
2-1.
A crash can happen in the blink of an eye, and in those milliseconds, the last thing you want to think about is, will the car's safety features work properly? 29-year-old American hero Stephanie Erdman, a lieutenant for the U.S. Air Force, says she will always carry a reminder that her airbags may have been defective.
It's an airbag. It's supposed to protect me. It's supposed to help me in a crash, not cause more damage.
It was her very first car, a 2002 Honda Civic she bought used in 2006.
My dad liked it because it was safe and affordable for me.
But she says she was never made aware that the airbags were recalled a few years later. It was in September of 2013 that Erdman got into an accident and the airbag deployed. This is the piece of twisted metal that she says shot out of the airbag and into her face.
I had a massive strike on my right side, and I just blinded out on that side.
Erdman is now suing Honda and the maker of the airbag, Takata. Both deny responsibility. Her make of car, part of the 8 million cars subject to an airbag recall, 10 automakers in total. There is no federal law stopping used car dealers from selling cars with open recalls or requiring them to check for them. So we wondered, what are used car dealers saying about the cars for sale on their lots with potentially dangerous airbags? ABC News now taking you undercover into 9 used car lots in 3 states to see what salespeople say about specific cars we know have open airbag recalls. Only one dealer checked on the spot.
The customer just wanted to have any recalls.
But some other places we visited didn't check.
But you can tell me that there's no recall on this one.
There's no recall on this one.
Not for the airbags.
Not for the airbag.
Wrong. In fact, this location selling 3 other cars on the lot with the same airbag recall issue. So I joined producer Jerry Wagshaw when he made a return visit.
Roberto, hi. Gio Benitez with ABC News. You told Jerry that this didn't have a recall, but it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Roberto says it's not his fault, it's the manufacturer's.
Do you feel any responsibility for the kinds of cars that you're selling, though? Because
of course, yes. We need somebody to let us know, and that person is the company, the manufacturer.
The problem is recall letters go out at the time of the recall to the registered owner, sometimes never again. The owner of the dealership telling ABC News they hadn't registered the SUV and that, quote, "We are not required by law to check for recalls. We don't have time to check for open recalls." Even so, Roberto telling us he's going to start checking online for recalls, even taking note of the special government website to do so.
All right, so you're going to write it down. Safercar.gov.
3 other used car lots also told us there were no recalls on cars we knew had open airbag recalls.
It does not have a recall for it, no, not that I know of.
This car doesn't have a recall.
No.
When we checked online, this 2005 Honda Civic does have a recall. But the car lot's manager later told us that they were not notified about the recall and that they usually don't check the VIN in a database. At another dealer in New Jersey, we inquired about this 2003 Pathfinder, which was also recalled for airbag problems.
There's none coming from the Pathfinder at all. Basically, I got a Pontiac recall, I got a Saturn recall, I got another Pontiac recall, I got a Cobalt recall. That has 0 recalls.
0 recalls.
No recalls at all.
The dealer later told us that even though he had registered the SUV, he was never notified. He also told us that he would have run the car's VIN number through Carfax before selling it and that he would have sent the car to a dealership to get fixed.
Pretty sporty looking car.
At this dealership on Long Island, we repeatedly asked the salesperson about the recall.
Has airbags, right?
Absolutely.
And I heard like this weird thing on the news about these airbags that are, you know, like recalled or anything. Is it any recall on that?
No, recalls are on the new ones.
But that 2002 Honda Accord does have an airbag recall. So we went back to ask the salesman about why he assured us that it didn't have one.
Why did you assure me that there was no recall on that car?
I did not. What I said to you is if there's a recall, we would take care of it.
Why didn't you just take the VIN and put it into the NHTSA database and check it out that way? I mean, I'm saying there's no legal responsibility for you to have to do that. I understand.
No, there's a moral one, and we would not have delivered the car to you with that recall not being handled.
Stephanie Erdman's lawyer feels more needs to be done to protect consumers from open recalls.
What would be ideal is for there to be a statute before you transfer the title that any open recalls have been thoroughly disclosed to the customer and preferably fixed.
The Department of Transportation has proposed a law to make it illegal to sell cars with open recalls without fixing them.
When I think about somebody going to an automobile dealer and buying a used car that has not been fixed after a recall has been issued, that is a real problem.
Erdman now says she is a living reminder of what can happen when you don't know your car has been recalled.
Everyone should be angry that this is going on. People should be valuing your safety, and that's not going on.
Of the 9 car lots we visited with our hidden cameras, 4 told us there were no recalls. 5 said they didn't know. Bottom line, it's up to the consumer to check. For Nightline, I'm Gio Benitez in New York.